Blessings, welcome in. I hope everyone is doing well. I am Melissa. I'm in an extremely giddy ass mood. I am feeling very full and replenished and rejuvenated within this now moment. I've had a few revelations this morning and the past few days that has completely flipped my world upside down, and I absolutely adore it. It is exciting. It's like bringing life back into me, and I'm feeling passionate and just wishing to explore and create and utilize these this new information that is very controversial and taboo in essence, and explaining this or attempting to translate this is going to be very against the grain, a very taboo, and I'm going to catch a lot of flack, and it's okay. I've learned. I've gone through a lot of processes this past year of accepting where I am, who I am, and what I'm trying to create, and it doesn't matter what the collective and anyone tries to say. They have no right to try to take away my world and the world that I'm creating. And us as these trailblazers, these, whatever you want to phrase yourself as, you were carving your own path. You were carving your own realities. We are going beyond where we have been. We are removing an old world, an old paradigm, a structure that has been in place for eons. And, we're creating new worlds for ourselves and our own realities. And that means it is you and you alone creating that. Yes, you are going to have people that are going to collaborate with you. Yes, you're going to come into these amazing relationships and partnerships and collaborations and things like that to bounce ideas off and help other people activate and expand to create their own realities. And as a collective, these little worlds within a bigger world is forming. And it's forming through love, not light. It's forming through love. And this is the keynote, and take it as you will. I've been shown and working with a particular consciousness and energy that is very hidden, that many do not perceive at its core. And I'm learning more and more from this consciousness that I wish to call yin. Now, many of us on a third dimensional, whatever dimension we all want to ascribe to, we've created all these labels, these terms, these names. And what we've done, we fragmented the core energy, the core vibrational frequency, the core resonance of that energy. Because we've chosen to term and label it as XYZ and then transform it into XYZ, to transform it into XYZ. So we've separated and fragmented further from the core resonance of that source. I'm going to use words, terminology that are inherently within my dialogue and my dialect, that and my understanding, and it will ping off to others as I describe in your own imagery, your own memory, your own symbolism, and you will make your conceptual link. So I'm not going to throw all these lavish words and terms out to fit everyone's vibration, because all you need is the core. You don't need everything else. So what I've been shown, and I am being brought back to the primordial essence of creation, and it's shown to me through Norse mythology, because that is an origin point in my Yggdrasil, or my tree of life, so that I can understand the world, the axis mundi, my individualized tree of life, to understand creation and how it has come into being. So, okay, anyway, so I'm going to talk about world yin. And for me, that is a world I am creating within this now. And what I've been shown is yin equates to love. Yang equates to light. Hence our love and light. We live in a world of light, despite our perspectives that we live in darkness and that we must battle darkness. There is it's a skewed perception. And we recognize part of the old world. We look at light is seen. It's illuminated. What is within light, is seen. All of creation becomes light, enlightened. It becomes matter. It becomes physical form. And where does light come from? It comes from the void. It comes from the abyss. It comes from dark matter. It comes from the dark mother. And y'all can say whatever you want. When we hear the words dark, we all go, oh, I can't talk about that. That's blasphemy. Because we don't have a full understanding and grasp. If we want to go into the quantum physics of dark matter, the quantum field, all these labels and all this bullshit doesn't matter, because it is matter. It's already formed. It's already created. So when we are, I want to hear excommunicating. Interesting. When we are communicating and discussing and saying the light wins, we are propagating battles, a war, that light needs to overpower love. Light is yang energy, which we equate as masculine. We are saying and communicating and recreating an energy of masculine must overpower yin. Yin energy, which is the womb of creation. Everything comes from the womb, from the mother, from the feminine, from the dark soil, all emerges into the light. So it's like I'm being shown that all vibration is a yang energy, which we perceive as masculine. Resonance is yin, in which creates vibration, movement, action, frequency, the spin rate of that energy. Wow. It's just like it is this incredible force that just pushes out and creates all that we know. And it's learning to change our perspectives of the unknown. Everything that is dark, everything that is hidden, it is a metaphor of the unknown. It is the void. The void is the 0 point. Everything comes and can be formed and created and structured and imagined and imbued life within that space. But when we live in matter, when we live completely in the light, everything has a density. Everything is already seen. There is no space to create. You need to go into the void. You need to go into the dark. You need to go into and remove matter, cleanse out, and create a blank space. A space that is completely empty in order to create our realities, in order to put our manifestations in and then nurture. It is just like tending a garden. You have the dark soil. It's just full of nutrients, nourishment. And there's things that reside within that garden, within that dirt, that help nourish whatever we're planning to come into form and be pushed through into the light. It's wild, and I'm still working through what I'm being shown and working with this consciousness and this energy. And it's pure love. It is just love. It's not light, it's love. Love. And that is the heart of the cosmos. That is the foundation of life. It's love. And we live in a world that we term as being male dominant, masculine, the patriarchy, the feminine has been suppressed. And I'm being shown more and more to not really utilize the words feminine and masculine anymore and use strictly yin and yang, because it's their core resonant frequencies. It is the primordial source of those energies without the distortion. And when you look at the yin and yang symbol on a two-dimensional framework or drawing, you have your white and your black, and then you have the cores within, and then another core within that is opposite of the two. And if you expand it out beyond a two-dimensional space, you now have a white hole and a black hole that is actually unified. That's actually of the same circle that is expanded outward. And they constantly give each other its polar resonance, which fuels and sustains each other to keep a harmonious and continuous flow of energy. And because of that, these forces dance together, and that's what creates. Oh. Yeah. I think the core teaching here is and is helpful for all of us to come back into our understanding and our space of what our source actually is removing the dogma and the stigma around feminine and masculine energies and coming back home to love, its core essence, which is the dark. And not dark in manipulation and deception and fear and distortion and all that. It's the yin at the end of the day. It's the unknown. It's the void. It's the 0 point. And then when you get back into the 0 point, we're no longer recreating what has been. We are creating from empty space and pulling from that quantum field. We are now working in the quantum, actually. You know, it doesn't matter dimensional spaces. It doesn't matter. And I say doesn't matter because it is matter. This shit's already been formed. Whatever dimensional space it is. The 0 point has no dimension. It is beyond space and time. But it is, and we sit there and say, like, yes, I understand and I recognize the stories, the myths, the lores of the sun. And we've attached all this junk and distortion on the moon. Because that's where the power resides. It's within the moon. Within the reflection. Within the waters. So I'm going to tell a quick little story to try to tie this transmission together. When I'm working with my Yggdrasil, I don't know. Anyway, world tree, the axis mundi, which is the world. Okay, when you work with your individualized structure and matrix, it's still linked into the overall world, Earth, Gaia, universe, the axis mundi. You're just a microcosm of the macrocosm. As above, so below. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that yes, smooth transition. So the as above, so below. When you look at Norse mythology, and I'm not going to get these terms correct. When the world was created, okay, you know about the 9 realms and the world tree. And within that world tree, you had the 9 realms. You had the branches, you had above, you had the upper world, the middle world, which is where the humans resides. We reside there. This is the 3rd dimension. And then you had the other world, the lower world, the underworld. And this is the same structure that is shown through various cultures of the creation stories. Niflheim is considered the world of mist and fog. It is a world of ice. Things that are frozen. And her opposite, and the name's not coming to me, but it was the world of fire. So you have fire and ice, alchemical elements that are said to oppose. And then you had Ginnungagap, which is the void, which is the in-between, which is considered light and dark. In Norse mythology, what they considered north and south was actually south and north. They were opposite in nature. So the as above is actually the as below. So where we saw fire, where we see light, where we see heat, has been misconstrued as being above when it's actually below. And the Niflheim, which is where it's considered where spirit resides, the spirits of the dead, that other realm that many people fear, that's where hell resides, is actually above. It's actually aligned with the North Pole, and the fire realm is aligned with the South Pole. And what happened was, when creation came into being in Ginnunga Gap, which is the void, which is the 0 point, from the heat, steam, heat rises, and it began to melt the ice, which created the living waters, the flow of life that dripped into the void. And then Ymir came into being, the first being, because these two merged, which we can perceive as masculine, feminine, yang and yin, came into being and formed within that void, the abyss, that gap, that empty space. And for me, that is a symbolism and representation of the 0 point, that empty space in which creation always comes from. But without the yin, the yang has nothing to dissolve. The yang has nothing to burn away. The yang has nothing to project. It needs those living waters, those primordial waters, in order to create. I'm not sure if this actually makes sense. I'm just kind of flowing and riding with this energy, and sometimes I can perceive it and totally understand it in my mind, and it makes sense of it, and it resonates within my heart, because it brings me back home. It brings me back to the origin space, which is the void of creation. It's not about, oh, I came from this star system, I came from here, I came from there. We all came from the void, the great unknown. And we're all learning to return to that through love. Because we've been living in a paradigm that was of light. And I'm not saying I'm separating love and light. I'm saying light, masculine, yang, has been overpowering that yin energy, which is why many times we're like, I can visualize, I can do this, I can do that, but my manifestations aren't coming into this world. I'm recreating what has been. I'm not creating something new, and I'm not seeing it manifest within this middle realm as new, something completely unseen before. Because you have to return back to the source in which you were created and work from that. Yeah, all right. So anyway, that's my rambling. That's my spurts. I have a sense that this energy is wanting to, because this energy is very magnetic. It is a gravitational force. It gathers a lot and consumes in order to create. And that may sound really, really weird. And however one wishes to perceive, it's not dark. It's not malicious. It's not, it only wishes to create. And that is the essence of creation. It has no agenda. And we keep thinking everything has an agenda, and it's malicious, it's manipulative, and da 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 da. And then we continue to fight out these fucking battles that has been known throughout humans' history, galactic history. We're not fighting each other to overpower. We're learning to unify and harmonize in order to create and expand beyond what we've already made. And we need to purify and dissolve these constructs, these ideas, these belief systems, and allow nature, allow the universe to teach you, to breathe through you, and show you. Your soul knows what is truth, because you will feel resonance, and that is yin. So that's my ramble. Send you all off with much love, many blessings on your journeys forward, on your journeys of remembrance, and your return home. At the end of the day, I don't care about missions. I don't care about whatever. I'm here to create a wonderful, loving, and abundant life, and live life to the fullest, as the universe continues to teach me and help me evolve and expand this old world and old constructs, so I can create a better future for my child and the future generations to come. And it starts with love. So